And good morning, everyone. Hey, welcome back. It's a great Wednesday morning. I'm running really late. Boy, long day yesterday. I actually slept till 5 o'clock this morning. I can't believe it. Uh, Welcome back. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. This is what I call my morning musings. Been sharing with you some thoughts on the comparison between Zechariah and its influence on New Covenant eschatology. And secondly, we then took a little more specific of a look between Zechariah and First Peter, because the parallels there are absolutely wonderful. They are beautiful. And they're, oh, mercy, are they incredibly important. We've segued from that into a study of how do we understand the Bible? What is this thing called hermeneutic? Well, I've been sharing with you some principles that are set forth in the New Testament and specifically set forth in 1 Peter chapter 1. Peter says the Old Testament prophets did not understand either the time or the manner of the fulfillment of the things of which they spoke. 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 10 to 12, Peter says when they prophesied of the glory that was to come at the parousia, following the death of Christ, they did not know the time or the manner. They sought diligently to understand the time or the manner, but it was revealed to them that the things would not be fulfilled, this is point 2, in their own day. It was not to be revealed in their time. Now this has all sorts of implications for us. Peter says the Old Testament prophets were told that the events that they were foretelling for the last days were not for their days. Now this is important. No Old Testament writer ever said the kingdom of heaven has drawn near. None of them. Not one writer in the Old Testament ever said the end of the age has come upon us, like Paul did in 1 Corinthians chapter 10. So when we see this contrast in context and setting, we must honor that. The third point that I want to share with you, that I shared with you in the last segment, is that the New Testament writers, number one, they tell us the Old Testament prophets did not understand their own prophecy. Number two, the Old Testament prophets were told that the prophecies would not be fulfilled in their day. But number three, the New Testament writers and Jesus himself tell us that what the Old Testament writers and prophets foretold was being fulfilled in the first century. Take a look at Acts chapter 2. Acts chapter 2 is the outpouring of the Holy Spirit. The apostles begin to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. They were accused of being drunken. Peter stands up in front of that massive audience and said, "Brethren, these are not drunk as you suppose, seeing it's but the third hour of the day. Now listen to me. But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel." And he quotes verbatim from Joel 2:28 and following. Well, what did Joel say? Joel said, "It shall come to pass in the last days that I will pour out from my Spirit upon all flesh." Now it also it is a prediction of the establishment of the kingdom. It is the prediction of the salvation of the remnant of Israel. It is a prediction of the inclusion of any who will come into the new covenant kingdom of Messiah. And the prophecy continues into chapter 3. But do you catch the power of what Peter said? Now remember, Joel said, "It shall come to pass in the last days." Peter said it was revealed to the Old Testament prophets that when they spoke of the kingdom, when they spoke of the coming of the Lord for salvation, they knew it was not for their day. And Joel, predicting that day, predicting the establishment of the kingdom, predicting the outpouring of the Holy Spirit, said, it shall come to pass in the last days, while the last days are ongoing. And Peter, having received the outpouring of the Holy Spirit, said, through inspiration of the Holy Spirit, this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel. Now notice, he didn't say, this is something like it will be one of these days, which is what Thomas Ice claims Peter really meant. No, this is that is not, this is like that. And this is that cannot be perverted, twisted, and distorted into this is not that. The incredible thing to see, as we will develop a little bit more in following segments, is that Peter's not alone, not only here in Acts chapter 2, but in other passages as well in the New Testament. The New Testament writers tell us repeatedly, they tell us emphatically, that the days for the establishment of the kingdom, the days for the coming of salvation, the days for the revelation of Messiah in judgment and the resurrection, those days had arrived in the first century. This is incredibly important. Hey, don't forget, get yourself a copy of my book, Who is This Babylon?, in which I discuss an awful lot of this. You will be amazed at the power of what you see. Go to my websites, www.eschatology.org or BibleProphecy.com. Order the book, Who is This Babylon? Mention that you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll refund your shipping. Hey, thanks so much for joining me for this morning's Morning Musings. Lord willing, we'll see you on the flip side.